This is the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN, the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
Monte Mohr here with Realty One Group Music City.
Hey, and Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team, and welcome back. It's Sunday
Look
evening.
who showed up in
who
the
we
studio
have in the
tonight.
studio.
Hey, guys.
Mr. Rick Marino.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to be back here in the studio with you,
And-
Carey Ann. And Monty, last time I
Yes.
was here, you were, I think, fishing.
I was somewhere else. I'm not sure where I was at.
That's exactly what he was doing.
I hope I was fishing.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's good to see you, man.
And
Thank you.
Such an icon, a local radio icon. I've
Well-
never sat next to you in a studio before. This is cool.
Man, I spent a long portion of my life behind one of these microphones.
I know. How long was it really?
All right, well, seriously, when I got into radio, I was in high school.
Wow.
And it's
Wow.
really weird how it happened. So we moved from Southern California to Reno, Nevada.
Uh-huh.
And the school system in Southern California at the time, which is totally different than how it is today, which is why a lot of people from California are moving to Tennessee. But back then, they were so far ahead of the Reno school system that I had to take really bogus electives because, and literally for the rest of the year, I got to take wood shop, automotive, and
Radio.
Well, what's involved here? Well, all you need to do is show up and play music, not really broadcast radio, but into the classrooms.
Oh.
And when the principal needs to give an address, you kill the music, she does her speech, and then you're done.
That was a class?
Yeah.
Sign me. That would have been a good one.
But while I was there, my bus driver, who walked into the school for some reason, saw me sitting in that little booth there, and he goes, "Oh, you do this?" And I'm thinking, well, yeah. And he said, well, my brother runs a real radio station, and they
Holy
need help
cow.
for the holidays.
No kidding.
So I immediately, we moved to Reno, and I get my first radio job
No kidding.
with no experience.
That's awesome.
So, and I've been flying by the seat of my pants ever since.
You dove in head first
I
and you
did.
made it.
So
Love
really,
it.
how many years have you been behind the microphone then?
Is it couth to give a big number like that? Let's see. My
Well,
first
you're only
job,
29, so.
right? Which makes sense because my first job was in 1978. So
Holy cow.
do the math. 41 years.
No kidding.
Crazy.
That's amazing.
Long time.
Long time.
That's amazing. Well, thanks. It's so good to have you here. You know,
Thank you.
my
I love
belief
that he
is.
went from radio to real estate.
I know it.
It's
I
the
know
best of both worlds in the
So
studio here.
How long you been in real estate now?
Well, since I moved to Tennessee, but licensed in Tennessee back in 2004 for the first time. So what is that? 15 years?
I was thinking around 15 years.
16 years, something like that.
Yeah.
But I started, of course, in Southern California. in the Sacramento area.
Okay.
And then here we are.
You
all
know,
these
I was
years later.
born and raised in Sacramento Valley. Do you know that?
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, I was born in Willows, California, just outside of Sacramento.
I lived in Citrus Heights and a couple other places
So,
around there.
we might be related.
We might be. We look alike.
Anyhow, it's awesome to have you here.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate you taking me up on the offer because I have such great confidence in your real estate skills as well as your radio skills. Obviously, you're a leader out there. You're one of our leaders in our company, and I wanted to bring in some of that leadership and say, hey, let's talk about real estate. You know,
Anytime.
I just really do appreciate it. So, so before we do that, though, Carey Ann, we've got to remind everybody about these questions.
Yes, we love everybody's
So,
questions.
Questions. Please send your questions to questions@talkmusiccity.com or #TalkMusicCity.
Yes, and also this show is a podcast, and you can listen at your leisure. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Music, and others. You can also watch us on YouTube or our favorite, Facebook. Simply search The Talk of Music City.
And you know our other guy in the studio here, Mr. Jim McCarthy. You've known him for a while, right?
Yes, we love
How
Jim.
long have you known him?
I've known Jim probably
Since 05.
15 years, right?
You and I worked together for several years.
Yeah.
In radio,
One of the
In
nicest guys I've ever known right there.
he is.
Period.
One of the what? That
Nicest gentleman I have ever known.
Nicest. Never heard.
You've never been accused of being nice, have you?
I have not.
And talented. Let's not forget that.
I've never been accused of that either.
And patient. And
I
humble.
certainly have never been accused.
See, and very humble.
So,
It's a great group in the house
So
tonight.
a minute ago, we were talking about some Christmas stories. Can Carey Ann, can you share a Christmas story?
Christmas story. Oh, I like everybody knows out there, I love Christmas.
You like to decorate, I hear.
I do. I love to decorate, but I'm the oldest of 4 children, and we grew up not with a lot of money, but enough to get us by. My mom and dad always wanted to make Christmas so special. And so as we were getting older, we were getting into those teen years, and they only had so much money budgeted, for Christmas. And so sometimes, that may only be one present depending on the money budgeted, with the cost. So my dad was really creative. And so I think they budgeted $200 per child, that year. And they worked hard to raise all that money. And so he laced every dollar. So he had 800 $1 bills and he laced them and made a whole art piece all over the ceiling. You wonder where I get this craziness from. They're doing all this kind of fun stuff. But he had this whole thing laced all over. So when we came down, there was just, and there was money you could pull out of boxes and different things like that. Wow. So I remember that as a fun year that we just got to hang out. And because you were in that teenage year. So like cash was, king at the time,
right.
Even a couple dollars was a big deal. So yeah, I remember that. That was a good.
So he's
good
no doubt inspired by Gilligan's Island. Thurston Howell used to hang all of his money.
Yeah,
He used to launder his money and hang it up to dry.
One year too, they did a scavenger hunt. So you, so at the end you'll get your gift, but it was a scavenger hunt all over, and they were some hard clues. That took all day. That was a lot of fun.
How fun!
It's a good time.
So you don't know this yet, Rick, about her, but she's got 14 Christmas trees at her house.
What?
14. I mean,
it's a lot. It's great.
Well, we have 5 or 6 in ours.
Yeah, see?
I'm completely humbled by the 14.
Well, they're of all sizes.
Step up, dude. You need to step up.
I know. I need to.
They're all sizes, yes. And Aubrey, it takes a lot. You have to fluff them. There's a half a day of fluffing involved.
What's awesome is that this year, because of Thanksgiving being so late, a lot of people decorated before Christmas. At least we did for the first time in a long time.
Before Thanksgiving, you mean?
Yeah, before Thanksgiving. We had our tree up.
Yeah, we did too.
Well, no, I couldn't because I hosted Thanksgiving. So I had like turkeys out and like dead leaves and gourds. And I wanted not to have the Christmas tree there. So I waited. But that Friday right after, bam, we got started on it. So
how about a Christmas story from you, Rick?
Well, a Christmas story, this time of year, you just listen to the Christmas music and it brings back all sorts of memories.
Right.
But one that I still laugh about is when I was a kid going to a Catholic school, I had to have a nativity that was built, in other words, father, son, whatever, mom, daughter.
Right.
You had to get together and build this nativity.
Right.
And my dad was busy. He was a photographer. He was on the road a lot. So the day before it was due, I was actually crying because I didn't have it. My dad said, "Don't worry, son. It'll be here in the morning. The spirit of Christmas." Well, I woke up and there was this beautiful nativity that I brought to school.
Yeah.
Thinking I'm going to ace this. This is really nice. But I got an F. Because he forgot to take the price tag off the bottom.
No.
So I do think of that.
Oh, that's so funny.
But Christmas is great. Growing up in a big Italian family, you can imagine that's one of our major holidays.
Wow.
The best part now, having a 6-year-old, being a mom and seeing the excitement, and I remember my dad getting on the roof and, because we believe Santa was clearly on the roof, and still is today. But, trying to get, so this is such a funny one. So I'm like, we have to wait till she gets to that sleepy section, right? So then you can start making the noise, on the roof. Got all the way on the roof, right? Aubrey's dad gets on the roof, starts the clanking, and she is just a snoring and a snoring. And I'm like, all this work. And we waited just too long. Like she went right into that sleep and she's like,
I bet your dad wouldn't have done that had you lived in one of those tall, skinny buildings that you see over here.
Oh, right. You can't do that downtown anymore.
No, not without a parachute.
Right.
My goodness, yeah.
I think I can say, Carey Ann, I might have come up with your product for Shark Tank.
Oh, I can't wait.
Roof janglers or something automated. You hit a button and they just little boots hit the roof.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. So because of that happened last year, I put this, because her bedroom is right under the attic. So I was like trying to think 2 steps. And so I Googled or YouTubed Santa Claus coming to town, like the shoo, 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 and the
sound
feet.
effects?
That sounds like 3 letters. It sounds like 3 letters. Sounds like So I put the Bose speaker up there, and I did it to the phone right underneath her, to try to get it just so you would hear it that way. So we tried something because you want to save yourself from breaking your back or falling over on the roof. Literally, the first year was on the roof. I was like, I don't think this is probably a good idea.
The things we do.
We need to probably up the life insurance at this point.
It's just enough to keep up with the elf.
On the shelf.
Did you move the elf?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Or you think about moving the elf as you're walking down the stairs and you're like, oh, we forgot something upstairs. Let's go back upstairs. Like I sometimes have to turn her around and go back to the, her bedroom. So then I'm like, hey, so it's important. Maybe we put your clothes on early this day. Like get dressed for school now. Why, Mommy? You never do that. Well, just cause I said so I could run downstairs and move the elf before she knows. Cause they're so smart that age,
That's too much pressure. I'm sorry. I'm glad my kids were born before the elf on the shelf was born.
Well, I just say just put the elf on the roof, and that solves a couple of different problems.
Put some big heavy shoes on him.
Exactly.
Oh, it is a lot of fun, but it is so much joy when you see their eyes that morning, just open up. And I always record her because it's just great to watch it back. It's awesome. So many great things and the memories. We love it. I love Christmas.
Monte,
have you heard?
You have a memory as well that you want?
No, I just had coal in my stocking. That's my only memory.
And trust me, you'll never forget that. That's a memory that will last. Coal, the gift that keeps on giving.
Giving.
And the Hallmark Channel. I do love the Hallmark Channel. It's really good. Can you even say that on here? I don't even know, but there's a lot of great Christmas movies on that show.
They start out with the scenario and then 6 months earlier. It's always that kind of a scenario. Yeah,
and it's the same actors and actresses, too. They just dress them differently in the different movies.
Yeah, but I cry on every one of them.
Right.
They get me every time.
Totally do.
I love it. Oh, it's good. So this is a real estate show, I think, huh? Are we talking real estate? Hey, so let's take a short break, but when we come back, we are going to talk real estate. You've been listening to The Talk of Music City Real Estate.
Are you someone who is looking to gain wealth through real estate? My name is Carey Ann Cyr, and I'm with CMG Financial and my mortgage team. Whether you're looking to purchase your first home, a second home, or even an investment property, my team and I, we specialize in making the process of home ownership smooth as possible. With our vast variety of mortgage programs, our competitive interest rates, and our local support center, we have the ability to serve so many deserving families and help find just the right mortgage program to fit within your short and long-term financial goals. Mortgage loans is what we know, and approving them is what we do. We'd be honored to help you begin the process today. Check us out at yourtnlendingsolution.com. That's yourtnlendingsolution.com. Or give us a call, always a friendly voice, 615-456-4456. That's 456-4456. We look forward to helping you and beginning your mortgage application today.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN, the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
Monte Mohr here with Realty One Group Music City.
Hey, and Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team.
And we got the man, the myth, the legend,
Rick.
Mr. Rick Marino.
That was stereo from where I'm sitting, and that was actually very cool. You two really have a very similar voice.
I don't know if that's good for him or good for... I don't know, Monty. That's funny.
You both have these great voices. But no, it's a pleasure to be here in the midst.
Thanks, Rick.
With Jim McCarthy over there, too.
And Mr. Jim himself, Mr. Voiceover Man himself.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had the pipes Rick had, man.
Oh, man, don't we all?
Wish I had that computer, so we're even.
I will tell you, I was driving down the road the other day, and I'm listening to the radio because I love my Christmas music, and I got so excited because I heard Rick on the radio.
That is so cool.
Yeah, is it okay to mention that Christmas music station?
Sure.
I don't know.
It's
I just kind of,
They play Christmas music this time of year all the time.
All the time. I think it's right after Thanksgiving, right? The first.
Oh, well, this year even before.
Oh, really?
Again, because Thanksgiving
it was so
late.
Yeah. But I know if I'm looking for, because Aubrey loves to listen to the Christmas music on our way to school every morning. And she's like, turn it up. Turn it out. She wants it so loud. And we just rock it out. So it's so fun.
You know what I like about doing radio during this time of year? The people who call the station, they're always so nice and so friendly. And they love, because everybody has a story with every Christmas song that people relive those memories, and they're really happy to share them with you. So being on the air, it's a great time to take phone calls. Love it.
That's cool. That's very cool that they reached out to you and said, hey, let's do this. Well, anyway.
I would. Since he's a pro.
That's what I'm saying.
Can I tell the Maliki Liki Maka?
Oh, yeah. Tell that.
All right. So a guy, I said, playing these Christmas songs, everybody has a song that reminds them of something. And so a guy called up and said, I'm reminded of eating soap. And I thought, eating soap?
Yeah.
He said, because I said Maliki Liki Maka. And I said, well, why would you eat soap from that? He said, because my mom didn't know what it meant. Oh, no. She thought he said something bad.
A bad
Maliki
word.
Liki Maka. Who knows? I don't know.
That's funny.
That is very cool. That is very cool.
That's a good one. Yeah, I love all the songs. What's your favorite one?
Mine?
Yeah.
Anything to do with that show that plays the Maliki Mama. Whatever it's called.
Maliki Mama. Hey, Maliki Liki. Now, that actually sounded, you will have to wash your mouth out with soap.
So coming up this week, on Friday, I'm allowing the office to dress as their favorite character or something that resembles one of their favorite Christmas movies. So what's your favorite Christmas movie?
Well, it's that one. It's the
same one.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
It's my favorite movie, period, plus my favorite
So
Christmas
if you
movie.
got to dress, what would you dress up as for that movie?
Cousin Eddie, probably.
Oh!
No, I'm what's his name? The main guy.
Clark.
Chevy Chase.
Clark
Griswold.
Clark Griswold.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
I relate to him.
For me, I would, boy, that's a tough one, because I like Jimmy Stewart. Come on, let's go with James Stewart.
Yeah.
And It's a Beautiful Life.
Beautiful Life.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
What about you?
I'm going to be the old-fashioned Rudolph.
Really?
I like that one.
The claymation one?
Yeah.
I like it.
You know the one?
Yeah.
Talk about like
Yeah,
the
claymation
old.
one.
Yeah,
I would be
yeah.
Gumby, but that's not Christmas.
Aubrey saw that was playing. I love seeing some of the movies that we used to love and watch coming back. It's great to see.
How about you, Jim?
Which character would I be?
Burl Ives.
I can't remember the name of the character, but on the series The Office, Dwight dressed up as a traditional Pennsylvania Dutch
Oven?
figure.
Oh.
And basically, I can't remember the name of it, but that would be the one. It's very involved. But
I might try to be the leg lamp.
The leg lamp is one too.
That's
Yeah,
great.
I could be-
How do you be a leg
I don't
lamp?
know. Maybe dress all in black and get a shade.
or the pink bunny.
Oh yeah.
The pink bunny pajamas that he got, Ralphie.
Or just get a pole. Oh God, how funny is this? So you just get a pole and stick your tongue on the pole. And then,
That would be fantastic.
that would be really. Oh, I think I might have to do that. I just came up with that idea. That was so
You
good.
could be Natalie Wood in
Okay.
A Miracle on 34th Street.
Yes.
Because I actually have a story of that now. So I have a client. We're actually closing on December 23rd, so that I'm not mentioning a name, so it's okay. So he can give a Christmas gift.
Wow.
Isn't that awesome? So we're closing December
Wow.
23rd, and it's going to be their Miracle on
very
34th
cool.
Street.
Oh, love
that's
that.
precious.
I think I
That's
came
precious.
up with another Shark Tank idea for you.
Okay.
Carey Ann.
We're going on it. The show.
Halloween at Christmas.
What?
What?
Yeah, dressing up as your favorite song, or nothing. Okay.
Nothing scary.
I'm going
though.
to turn the mic off.
Thanks for that, Jim.
I think we wouldn't get a deal. Too funny.
So anyhow, this is a real estate show. Thank you everybody for listening. And one of the reasons I wanted Mr. Rick Marino to share with us, because he is an extremely experienced real estate professional. And as a matter of fact, Rick, if the listeners wanted to have a celebrity working for them, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, they just you can Google me. I love that. We're all over the place. You can go to our website. There are several different ways to do that, but you want to find me easy. Nash is in Nashville. MLS is in multiplelistingsservice.com.
Really?
So you get a hold of me.
NashMLS.com. What a great URL.
Which takes me directly to our search Nashville area homesforsale.com site. So,
Well,
just
I'd
a shorter version.
recommend you if somebody's looking for a good celebrity to sell them homes around Middle Tennessee, because I know you cover the whole gamut.
We do, yes. And I'm proud to do it. Thank you. I love this real estate company. Monte, I want to let you know that since I have been here, I've experienced freedom in real estate that I've never experienced before.
Wow.
And that is, I've never been a part of a true 100% brokerage.
Right.
And in doing so, it's allowed me, and at this time of giving and this time of being thankful for so many things, it has allowed me to open up a little bit more and do more marketing and because the 100%, this money that you're given to other brokerages, you're able to invest in yourself, and it's it's a good thing.
So, Rick, you've been doing this for 15 years. I know you, at one time you even owned another brokerage.
I did.
You've been in and out of Remax a few times. You've been on teams before. So, how? I mean, since we're going to talk, since you brought this up, let's talk a little more specifically about how Realty One Group Music City has. What's it like working there? I mean, I was so grateful when you were one of the first real rocks that came into the company. It had been in the business a long time. It was such a compliment when you trusted our company with your real estate business. That was such a compliment.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, first of all, I've always been a big fan of yours, for sure. And when you sent out a business plan, right about the time I was thinking, man, I really need to start thinking about next year. And then all of a sudden, Monte, the goodness of his heart, and by the way, he is a good guy and he does genuinely want to help people. You sent a business plan out. And I thought, I've never been a part of 100% brokerage. And in my mind, I thought, well, maybe you don't get anything. But if Monte's doing it, then maybe there's something to this, right?
Yeah.
Because he's credible, and we've done several deals over the years together. But when I saw this email from Monte and this Realty One group, which by the way they're all over out west,
right?
So I was familiar with the name.
Okay.
And this is the first brokerage here. So when I learned that you were doing this, I thought, well, there's got to be something to this. That's why I called and I set up the meeting to come discuss it.
Well, thank you for that. So what are the, from a real estate standpoint, here's my conviction on this topic. I think the 100% is becoming so crucial because there's so much downward pressure on the real estate commission. And as the downward pressure continues, I don't think it's going to change. I don't see it only going down as more and more tech companies get involved in this industry. It seems to me that the ability to capture a higher percentage of that commission to start with is going to become crucial, that you won't be able to afford to leave 20 or 30 or 40 or 50% on the table.
Well, if you are leaving 30, 50% on the table, how you're supporting somebody else.
Right.
Right now, in this day and age, where you have the ability in a hot market to take care of yourself, which means you're working smarter instead of harder. Rather than having to do twice the deals to make X, you can earn X times 2 by doing the same work.
By simply investing what you were leaving on the table, you can end up making a whole lot more.
That is correct.
Less numbers of transactions.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you're a great testimony to that, Rick. I really appreciate that. When we come back here in a few, we're not ready to leave yet, I guess. I thought we were.
We're not leaving. We'll still be sitting here.
Okay, I still want to tell my Christmas
story.
But after the break. No. Go ahead, Carey Ann.
Oh, well, we're going to wrap this up. Look at the men sent it to me here. So we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to hear Monte's Christmas story. We're going to talk more about real estate. You've been listening to The Talk of Music City.
Hi, my name is Monte Mohr. I'm the broker-owner of Realty One Group Music City. I've been an active real estate broker for over 35 years now, personally selling thousands of homes. That's why I recently opened Tennessee's first Realty One Group office. As a real estate professional, would you like having it all? Cutting-edge technology, full support, world-class training, same-day commission deposits, all for free? How about strong collaborative culture, national brand recognition, new high exposure, easy access office, and a non-competing broker committed to your success 7 days a week? Now let's top that off with all experienced agents receiving 100% of their commission from day one. I know, where's the catch, right? There is no catch. Call us today and schedule a confidential meeting and learn why Realty One Group is the fastest growing real estate franchise in the nation. Call 636-8244. That's 615-636-8244. Or go to topagentsuccess.com. That's topagentsuccess.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN, the talk of Music City real estate.
Where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
Monte Mohr here with Realty One Group Music City.
And Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team. We got Rick Marino.
The myth, the legend, the man himself.
The one, the only.
Well, thanks, guys. That's really hard to live up to that. That's I'm so intimidated now.
Just here, sitting here next to you while you're talking it's awesome.
Well, you know what? Well, we're going to go off on another tangent, but when I moved here, that's who I listened to was you. And so I think back, you bring me back to 15 years ago when I was, here. So that's good.
I don't say 15 years ago anymore. I say 15 pounds ago. I do.
So
because I got married and my wife's a great cook.
Oh, there you go.
I can't say no to it.
Well, you can't be implied.
That's right. But no, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So we're talking. What are we talking here?
So I wanted to ask Rick on air about a topic that you guys have heard me, my nemesis that I refer to, that company that's growing out there way too fast because they're, I feel like, stealing from people. But before I say my opinion, I'll share my opinion, Rick. What do you think about the iBuyer? Are you familiar with iBuyers? We can't mention names, but what do you think about that tech company that comes to town and pays cash?
They do that. Yeah, I'm a little intimidated by that because I think that there is such a misunderstanding. You think that if you're going to get a quick offer on a house, that, oh my gosh, it's going to be the best. I don't like how they advertise we'll give you a quick competitive offer.
Right.
How is it competitive if there's nobody competing for it?
Right.
If you're not making appointments and talking to 4 or 5 different real estate agents.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
How are you going to get me top dollar for my house? Right. Ask the question. Right. If I just give you an offer and tell you how great it is, and then there's a bunch of information in here that I don't tell you about that you're going to have to pretty much pay for a new house so they can make top dollar on the house.
Right.
What's in it for you? You put your blood, sweat, and tears into this property for years, and you're just giving away your equity because it's a quick, competitive offer? No. Competition means more than one.
Right.
So you have to have competition. Set up those listing appointments. Get those realtors there. Ask, how are you going to earn me all the money I can? What's your plan? That's how you do it. But doing this, we don't have to show the property. Hey, that's fine if you want to give away your equity.
Right.
So I'm intimidated by it for the fact that there's this big misconception. It's not the best thing out there.
No.
It might be quick. Is that what you want? Or most people want money. I sell my house. I want money.
Yeah.
Pay me for what it's worth.
Exactly.
Give me market value for my house.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sell it as is if you want.
Right.
They're not going to do that.
No.
Read the fine print.
Right.
They're not selling it as is. They're giving you an offer, and you're going to pay to make sure they can earn all the money that you would have earned if you would have called us.
Because their loyalty is to the stockholders. It's not to you, the homeowner.
That's right.
They're fiduciaries with
business.
the stockholders, not with you.
So if you want fiduciary responsibility, call a realtor. Have them come to your house because that's what we do. Our best interests are yours, right? We're not in this for us. We want to make sure that your interests are met.
Right. Amen,
I think
brother.
it's safe to say that Rick is not a fan.
No, I'm not a fan. I had a client recently who wanted to do that. And before, during my listing presentation, we're just going to call such and such. And I said, are you kidding? And I pulled them up on the website. I said, all this stuff is fake. If you're thinking that you're going to get a competitive offer by calling them, it's wrong. I got the listing, by the way, and I got them top dollar. More than they would have gotten with other people.
Absolutely.
A lot more. And they felt
I
good
love
about
this guy.
Well, it's the easy button, like you always say.
Well, exactly. He's singing from the same hymnal that I do. Is that this is a huge price for an easy button. They don't have your best interest at heart. They're not going to give you the most. They're literally strip mining the area because they're taking all the equity from hundreds of homeowners. They've grown 1,800% in the last year. That's what's scary.
Why have they done that?
Because they're
It's sexy. We got to sell it
marketing.
quick.
Yeah,
It's marketing. And the
You
money.
don't need to have people come in my house. By the way, this one particular listing that I told you about, we still had it fully under contract in 4 days.
Right.
And we only had like 1 day of showings, and that was it. It was done anyway.
Right. And that's
so you're not losing anything.
Exactly.
If you don't want to if you don't want to invite people into your house, let us put together a plan for that.
Right.
But at least talk to us about it.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that easy button is way more expensive than what people realize. On average, my understanding is they're literally the consumer using these companies is literally losing between $20,000 and $40,000. If you do the math on how many homes have been sold, this is 20s of millions of dollars that have been strip mined from the Middle Tennessee area in the last 12 months. To me, again, that's scary.
That is.
What's the biggest pain you're overcoming with that easy button anyway?
Well, it's what he was just talking about. It's the unknown, okay? Because
The what if, yeah.
It's pain in the butt of showing the house, keeping it clean, right?
Right, but if people will listen
More
to...
than that, I need my money now. I need to get it paid.
Right.
I
And that's
need it
another
now.
part of the pain.
It's now.
Okay.
So if you're at a car dealership, I need this car now. you're not going to get the best deal. If you want to go shop around, you're going to get the best deal.
Right.
Likewise.
You bring up an important part of the competitive offer part of it. It's not a competitive offer.
How can it be competitive?
It's a lowball offer.
Call us right now. We'll have our competitive offer to you in 20 minutes and sign now.
And just because we want to make a profit on this, don't think we're going to offer you less than what it's worth. That's just silly.
But we won't do that. Furthermore, I know people don't like paying a commission, but trust me, you do the math on that, you're paying a commission, and I don't know a single realtor who didn't work hard, extremely hard, to bring that top dollar to earn that commission.
And brought a personal experience.
Right.
Well, I think it was so hard. There was a time, a year or so many years ago, where you would just put it on the computer, and all of a sudden it was sold before you even hit the upload button, right? So it did make it feel like the real estate agent wasn't doing anything extra, right? Where we need to remind people that we're not in that world anymore today. No. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a beginning, middle, and end. There's so much, and so yes, the commission is worth it. But at the end of the day, the iBuyers, they rename it. So yes, they're just using marketing tactics for us to turn our heads and create so much curiosity to go, what's that about?
Right.
And then they hook us, or we're in their web, and then they sell me on the idea that they're going to give me the money fast, et cetera, et cetera. So, now we need a reverse marketing plan of how, when they're in that web, how do you get them out of that web, and remind them to pause and relook at other options.
Well, I would just say this. A fast, competitive offer doesn't bring multiple offers.
No.
Right? That's where you're really going to earn more than what you're listed for. And by the way, don't feel that you have to list your house so expensive that people aren't going to come see it.
Right.
You want to list it to where it's attractive to get a bunch of people in there at the same time, preferably on the same day, so you can have people compete for that house.
Smart.
Right.
People want what they can't have. You got 10 people in there. It's like, man, I want this before he gets it.
Right.
I'm going to offer whatever, no closing costs, whatever.
Right.
I don't want you to. I want the seller. I'll buy it as is.
Your attitude's totally different. When you're afraid of losing something, your attitude's totally different as a buyer.
That's true. So give us that opportunity to create that product for you, because your house is a product. So don't give it away.
And you hurt the neighborhood when you do that as well.
That's right. That's a good point too, because we do look for those comps, and when all of a sudden the guy down the street sold it for $20,000 less than he could have sold if he had just interviewed a couple of real estate agents, or at least Monte and me. And Carey Ann and Jim, you're not a realtor, are you?
I'm not.
Well, then don't call Jim, but call us. But anyway, for the sake of the neighborhood, just do the right thing, and for your pocketbook,
for your family, for your future.
It's hard-earned money. Think about everything you do when you buy your house. You paint, you put up a fence, you put in a pool, you put all the stuff that you do just to have somebody quickly take it away from you,
so they can resell it and make a profit.
They will make money on it.
They will. That's what they do.
So that's why I'm intimidated. I'm intimidated because it's hard to let people know the truth about this product.
Well, they're only doing it to make money. So,
and they're doing a good job at it.
People don't understand that, though. They're so fixated on the idea of it being easier that they're forgetting about what the cost of that easy button is.
Sure, yeah.
You're kind of shackled because you can't even mention them by name either. So when you say you're creating a whole new nuance and category of what an iBuyer is, but a lot of the public, and they don't really know what that is yet.
Yeah, well, the iBuyer, again, for clarity's sake, we're not talking about anybody specifically, but to name a few iBuyers as an example would be Open Door is one, Zillow is one.
Redfin?
No, Redfin's a flat fee company.
Are they?
OfferPad is one. I mean, there's a half a dozen of them, okay? And they're all run by tech companies who have the responsibility to show their investors a great return on their money. They do not have a vested interest in your well-being. They will take it while it's there and then say adios. And the other part about this equation that a lot of us in the real estate industry that are selling these homes don't understand is they do not do a great job in many cases of those rehab, that rehab, okay? I mean, for instance, I'm not mentioning names again, but I actually met with a guy today that is friends with the lead contractor with one of the larger companies who does the flipping part of it. And he said, so how is the work done? He goes, hey, this is his response, and I quote, lipstick on a pig is still lipstick on a pig.
You said that?
He said that.
Oh, man, that's shameful.
It's shameful.
That's shameful because that's somebody else's home and they thought they were really getting a
Right.
good deal. But I'll tell you what, if you're thinking, listen, the economy is great and I wouldn't mind becoming an iBuyer of myself. If you want
Sure.
to get into the flipping business,
Yeah.
you can still call us.
Right.
We
Keep
will
the money
help.
locally.
Right.
We have people who can write a check for a home in our office.
We'll help you do that. And by the way, have you ever mentioned that we do have programs? If you need to get out of your house quickly, we can offer your house up rent to own. Even
Right.
there's so many
Right.
different ways to get around doing something foolish. If you need to be quick in getting out of your house, then speak with us and
Please.
we'll
Right.
help you get
There's
out of
ways.
it quickly.
There's
Yeah.
ways for sure.
Absolutely.
There's lots of ways.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate the passion, brother. I really do, because
Well, I'm very passionate about this
I am
topic.
passionate about it as well. When the first time it happened, I went on Channel 4 and talked about it, and I was, so I was kind of told by my peers, you can't talk about another company, and so I'm trying not to talk about any other company. But the bottom line is these entities do not have the real estate community's best interest at heart. That is a fact, nor the consumer's best interest at heart.
And for our clients and future clients, the bottom line is your bottom line.
That's
so
right.
Just think about that and
That's
give
right.
us a call. We can help.
Yes,
Thank you,
absolutely. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to talk more with this great man here, Rick Marino. You've been listening to The Talk of Music City.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN, the talk of Music City real estate.
Where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
Monte Mohr here, Realty One Group, Music City.
Carey Ann with CMG Financial and My Mortgage Team, and Rick Marino.
Rick Marino.
Pleasure to be here. Almost the end of the year, too. So this is the time of the year people are thinking, man, I'm going to do my taxes and I'll have my refund, and what am I going to do with the money?
Right.
What are you going to do with
Well,
that
Clark
money?
Griswold wanted to put in the pool, remember?
Yes.
But he got the Jelly of the Month Club instead. But you know what? If this is the time of the year when maybe you're thinking about 2020 and what to do with a little extra money. Fortunately, a lot of people have a little extra money now,
Right.
thanks to a thriving economy.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you.
And maybe investing is the thing for you. And if you've been thinking about it, we could help you, educate you on what you should be looking for in a flipper home.
Right. Or just a long-term investment.
Or a long-term investment. People do need a place to live. When you're investing in the rental market, Section 8, in my opinion, is a very good thing. If you're wanting to help people have a place to live, that money comes on the first of the month,
Right.
every month.
Right.
Gotta love that. But as far as the flip, with prices, it's hard to find a $200,000 house in the Nashville, if not impossible to find
Sure.
a good house
Right.
for $200,000. So people are looking in the outlying areas.
Right.
So, Monte, if you had an investor client say, "Hey, what should I be looking for?"
Right.
What are you telling them?
Well, I'm telling them that I think the school system has a lot to do with sound investment. But again, it comes from the approach of are we talking long term or are we talking flip? To me, flip is getting harder and harder to find because there's so many people wanting to do it. And there's some failures out there if they're not doing it correctly, if they're not being conservative on the front end.
Well, that's why I think I would like to offer some advice on that.
Yes.
If you want to do a flip, be sure, if you want to really maintain a good return, make sure the house has a good HVAC system.
Okay.
You want to make sure it has good windows.
Those two things alone will eat you up if they don't.
Yes.
Yeah, and a roof.
Right, a
The
good
roof
roof, yeah.
will do it as well. Those are the three things that I would look for, and right out of the gate. Because carpet doesn't scare me, because flooring is so, thanks to some of these places over
Right.
here where you can get
Right.
flooring for next to nothing.
Right.
And paint doesn't scare me at all. Even appliances, there's some pretty good deals on appliances. So I don't even care about the appliance package. If it had granite countertops, great, because everybody wants those.
Right.
But if not, there are some good
Yeah.
alternatives. But those are the things that you want to have. You want to have a good roof. You want to have, obviously, good HVAC and good windows and location.
Right.
And location might be 50 miles out of town, but just make sure it's in an up-and-coming 50, that there are jobs nearby. You're close to shopping.
Rick, you cover all of Middle Tennessee. Where do you think the next up-and-coming area might be?
Well, it's already happening. I think as soon as that Tom Austin Highway goes through Springfield, I think that's going to be a huge area. Prices are already going up big time.
I agree.
White House is another one.
Right.
Yeah.
Pleasant View. South of town, you'd have to get pretty far because Murfreesboro is getting expensive now. But you'd have to go east. You'd have to go out towards Las Casas and out that way. But I would stay on the north side. If I wanted to make money, I would look more towards Springfield.
Okay.
And into Clarksville.
It's got a quaint little town up there, too, in Springfield.
Cotton Town, some of the those areas. But man, it's already happening though. Look at what's happened, the return people are getting. If you're not getting 20% in your 401k, then maybe real estate flipping might be for you because it's turning quickly up there.
Or again, long-term investment. Carey Ann, you can help them with long-term investment, right? You do investor loans, right?
Oh, absolutely. You can get a loan with as low as 15% down on an investor.
I thought it was 20. 15.
Well, you can do 15.
Okay.
Yep.
What
Does require.
What kind of credit requirements does it
Yeah.
take?
So again, it all depends upon not so much the credit score, but the credit profile. So Fannie does allow down to 620, but again, making sure that the system does approve that, et cetera, depending on what is on that credit report. But you do have mortgage insurance if it's 15% down. Usually, you'll find that the investors like the 25% down. The interest rates start to improve when you get into that 25%. Sure. There is an option where there's a no-doc loan. It's called a cash flow loan where you have to put at least 25% down. Your credit score is going to be at least a 680 plus. The interest rates are going to be a little higher because we're not asking any questions, but they're basing the whole loan on making sure that that particular house cash flows. So if the current rents are for blank, your mortgage payment is the same, you're good to go. That cash flows. And so I've done a lot of those loans as well and help a lot of investors purchase long-term investment properties.
I would like to see you guys get because the show's awesome because you two rock, but I'd like to see you get an accountant in here to talk about capital gains and what happens on a quick flip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot that goes into that.
See, I don't give any advice in that regard because I know nothing.
That's over my head. I look at my CPA and say, "Hi, what are you going to do there? Is there anything we could do there with all the changes, et cetera?" But that's important. But yeah, there's a lot of great opportunities. We help a lot of investors. The nice thing about the loans that we do is we package it up once. Fannie allows you
3 times.
Yeah, so then we can reuse it within a period of time.
Okay.
And then Fannie allows you to have up to 10 finance properties. So that does give you that freedom if you need to. Now, some folks, we can be creative. Let's say you don't have the down payment, but you have great equity in your current property that you purchased. We can pull money out of that house and put down on the new. So there's a lot of flexibility.
You can pull a bridge loan out of their current home to get the equity under 80%, I'm assuming.
Yeah, actually, that's allows you up to 89%, close to 90%.
Wow.
Yep.
And use that money for investment.
You can use that money and reinvest that back into another property for
long
sure.
Term.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So what's your outlook on flip houses and long-term investments in 2020?
I think Middle Tennessee is going to continue to rock. I really do. I mean, it's price point driven, of course, but I don't see any slowdown because there's still so much inertia coming to Nashville because the word's out. Nashville's a place to be. Mm-hmm. What's your perspective?
Well, I'm always afraid when prices go up as fast as they have.
I understand that,
but which is why I'm still loving the outside areas. Mm-hmm. I really like areas like Springfield. Even if you want to put your family in there and live somewhere where you have a really good opportunity to earn some equity in your house, I'd still look at some of the outside areas. I remember when you can buy a beautiful house in Franklin or Brentwood for $220,000. Yeah. What happened?
Right. Mine was $205 when I bought my first house. Yeah.
How long ago was that?
That was quite a few years ago.
Okay.
And then I realized I should have waited one more year because I sold it at where I thought was on the upper side of the market, and then the next year it jumped even further. So
it's it's crazy. The whole local Middle Tennessee economy is so price point driven. I mean, we've seen if you had a home that was worth $600,000 in the last 3 years, probably hasn't gone up at all. If you got a home that's worth $200,000, it's probably gone up at least $100,000. I mean, it's so crazy how that's happened.
Well, these appraisers today have a lot of work to do. It's you write a contract and you assume it's going to appraise. I mean, lately, a lot of them are coming. Quite a handful of them are coming in short.
Really,
$7,000, $22,000.
Wow.
One was a new construction, and this was in the $800,000 range, and it came in $12,000 short.
Yeah.
So it's happening. We want to push, but we can only push as much as
we know
it
it will
allows.
Happen if we push too hard. It happened, 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, so that said, though, but when you're hearing all these numbers and you're thinking maybe this real estate investing is for me. So call our brokerage. It's Realty One Group Music City. We're located right next to Sperry's in Franklin. You could stop by. Somebody will be there, or you can call us at 615-636-8244. Or Google Monte Mohr or Google Rick Marino. And if you need any advice on how to get funded for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Carey Ann will take care of you.
Yeah, absolutely. We got
Thank you,
the
Rick.
trio here.
It's great to have such a pro on the air with us, man.
Oh, thank you
Such
very much.
So great.
That's good to be here. And don't forget, Jim's over there, too.
The voiceover man.
Yep. Jim, so what kind of numbers do you have on the market? What does it say?
Well, I'm actually looking at an article. Let's see, the Tennessee Housing Authority basically
Did you say Housing Authority?
Housing Authority.
Don't say that.
Nashville housing market currently has more inventory than a lot of other big cities, so that's a good thing. We're experiencing a little bit slower home price growth today than in years past, so that kind of alleviates what you were talking about, Rick. The sense of urgency among home buyers in 2020 could be reduced, as well as the competition. And mortgage rates for 30-year loans are still hovering below 4% on average. So it's actually not a bad time for a buyer in 2020 is what this article is saying.
It's a great time.
Even if the market does go down a little bit, it only hurts you if you sell.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a great time. Well, thank you so much,
Thank you,
everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back next Sunday, 5 p.m. You've been listening to The Talk of Music City Real Estate.